Hi, I'm Sue Boo bringing crafting to you, and today I'm going to show you a version of this shaker tag. It's got 3 layers. There's where you can write to the person, and it's just got some beautiful elements to it. I'm going to do it slightly different. This paper is absolutely gorgeous, and I just really want to show it off a bit more in a different way. So on this one I've used the postage stamp punch, but on this one I'm going to use the tailor tag punch. So I'm going to try it a bit different. Okay, so what we're going to do is start off with the hippo happiness, the largest die. So what I've done is I've cut out in Blackberry Bliss one of the largest die of this. Then I've cut another, so you want two of the large ones in Blackberry Bliss. Then I've cut two out in the Blackberry Beauty DSP. And then you're going to need the medium one, and you need one cut out in the Blackberry Bliss and one cut out in the Black Beauty Black Beauty DSP, and I've got a little bit of scrap of the same paper that I'm going to use, and I've cut some elements out with the iconic dies, but I'll show you those as go along. I've also cut out already a label in our Very Vanilla from the tag topper, tailored tag, and then I've cut the smaller one. And you just need that cutting out in the DSP plus cutting it out in the Very Vanilla. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do is grab hold of one of your large pieces of your Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to put this in my tag topper. I'm going to do it this way, that's it. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these bottom ones, or I can look at the top ones. In your case, I'll look at the top. I'm going to line those two edges up with the punch, and then I'm looking at this round bit to make sure that I've got that as level as I can. So I'm just going to alter it from view in a minute. So I'm looking at the top here, I'm looking to make sure that that is even, and I'm lining it up with this. So having this lined up at the top, the label there, helps you to keep it straight. So I'm just going to go in again and just absolutely make sure that that is straight and as central as I can. I'm only eyeballing it. You could measure it, and you could measure a halfway point. I'm going for it with the there, and I'm just going to punch that out. Now, I've deliberately done it lower down because we're going to use the top part here. We're going to put a hole in there, and I'm going to use this little one. There's two of these in the Happy Hippo one that we're going to use there. So I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. So I'm just going to place that out of the way and bring in my mini. I just love my mini. It's just so easy to get a small die machine and use that all the time. So I'm just going to set up this to do that and bring my sandwiches in. So I've got my white plate, which is plate 1, and then the 2 plates 2. There we go. So we're going to use those. I'm just going to try and put this, so I'll use the flattest one. I'm going to turn it around. Plates are a bit warped, so what I'm going to do is place this the best I can in the centre. So I'm looking for that going as much in the centre as I possibly can, and also just bringing it away from the edge. It would be better if I sit it down to do this. So I'm gonna just get that in there, and then I'm just gonna run this through my die cutting machine. Okay, so I'm only going to take it as far as I know, where it's just got that little bit there, and then it just cuts a lovely bit out, and there's a bit of detail around it, so that's really nice. Yes, I did do that right. And you could save that. That can go in the centre of the flower, so or make flower petals with those. Right, the next bit that I'm going to do is put this through again. So I'm going to turn it over. Now, how I'm going to get it in the same place is I'm putting it on top, and I've got a pencil and I'm drawing round that so you can see where it's gone. So I'm just going to put that back in and see where that has gone. So that's my guideline, and then pop that back through, try not to move it. So that's going to go back in there and back. Right, made a classic mistake now, because what I meant to do is put on my 2 DSPs first. So I'll have to run this through. I need to put my glue on, and I'm just going to get this glued on to start with. So I forgot that. So we'll just, as I say, you can save those. I'm building a flower now with these that I'm taking off. So I'm going to pop that in there. And then I'm going to have to do this again. Now, just make sure that you get your DSP absolutely lined up. So making sure that I'm getting that lined up there. It is beautiful, DSP. Hannah, I thank you so much for letting me have half of your pack. Some more is on its way, so I will reimburse you, because it's just too good a paper not to have a whole pack of it. So I'm going to put, hopefully, in fact I'm going to do it the other way, because that will fit in there, and then I'll show you what to do. So that's nicely fitted in there. I'm just going to pop that through, and then just make sure it goes through. And then to give it the nicer edge, well, actually it won't matter, will it? No, because I'm going to be putting that underneath, so that won't matter. So what I need to do now is I need to put this on the back, because I want to show this paper off, because it is just so gorgeous. I'm using as much of the paper as I possibly can. So I'm going to pop this on here, and again making sure that that really lines up well. I've added more DSP, I think, on this tag than I did on the other one. And again, all I've got to do is sit that, because I've got that guide, I can sit that in there when it catches. Oops, make sure I've got it right. I know, but you're going to want to do all the things I've done with it. So you'll have to have some back, and I've got some Blackberry Bliss card on the way as well, so I've just done that. And I've gone and got the dahlias for my freebie. I couldn't resist it in the finish, so I've just gone and got that. So that's there. Now, just to make it better on this side, I'm going to pop this back in, and although it doesn't need to cut it, it will just give it that indentation. Okay, to just finish it off. So what I should have done is I should have glued all my DSP on first, and then I should have popped it through. So better remember to do that on my others rather than this faff. Okay, so I'm going to take that through. Only needs to go as far as that little bit, and take it back, and that will give you that indentation. There we go, so that's lovely. Now on the back of this I have got my tailor's tag, and I'm just going to put that on there because this is going to be the one where you will write to the person you're sending it to. So just need to just sharpen my tailor tag topper punch up a little bit by putting silver paper, cutting out the silver paper helps sharpen them back up again. So I'm just going to pop this in the middle from left to right. I'm not particularly putting it in the middle from the bottom to the top because I want it closer to the bottom. Okay, so that's the start of that. And now what we can do is we can start to build up, but before we do that I think I will cut out all the little things so I don't lose my, which I have done. So what did I do with my, oh there it is, it's underneath. Okay, so let's do this. Now how I line these up, so this one here, it's going to have this one on the back. This reminds me of Hegwidge. So I'm going to put the two together first. So this is going to be... Now what I'm doing, if you can see, there is a little line going all the round, giving you the detail. Is it going to pick it up on the camera? It's got that little detail. So it's also got it on the DSP. So I'm putting the two fronts that I've cut out, marrying those two together. Okay, so again, make sure that you get this absolutely bang on. And then all I'm going to do is put this in the middle like that. So I've put it in the middle so that it's even. In fact, we'll do it from the back, you'll see it better. So I'm just trying to get that the equal lengths at either side. So I've got equal there and there. And at the top. And then again, I'm just going to go in with my pencil, and we're ready to put that on. So that is going to go on there, and we'll cut out, put it on it, line it up. It should roughly line up in the middle. There we go. Oops, put it on the wrong plate, so whoops. So I'll start again now. Got that perfectly lined up, and then we had to take it off. So we're going to put that in there. That looks about right. Everything's getting static, so I'm hoping I'm not losing pieces everywhere. So I'm going to put that through. I'm just taking it only because my plates are scuffed with all the constant die cutting I do. I don't want that to ruin my card, so I don't want to take it all the way through. Now again, I'm going to go on the opposite side to give it that lovely indentation. I'm going to put my die back on it so that it's absolutely fitting. So you can see there, you can see that lovely indentation. So I'm putting this back now. That's going to go on that side, make sure it's fitting in that, and then put that back through so that it'll give the indentation as well on this side. So again, only just putting it through so that I know that that's gone under the roller, and that's it. And so we've got that lovely indentation now going on there. Okay, so that's those two. Then this one I need to glue again. So again, I'm gluing the back reverse sides of my so the reverse sides are going together. And then just make sure that you've decided if there is a pattern, I want my pattern to be this way. So just make sure if you've got a pattern that needs the right way up, just make sure you've got that in the right place. So again, I'm going to go in and I take it back to the largest die, and I'm getting that. So this one's easier to line up because it just sits on that corner and that corner. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to see this one. There we go, and pop that on there. There we go, make sure it's right. And then we'll put this through just to there. That's it. And then I'm just going to come back in, oops, and take that little bit out. I'm going to go back to this side and going to put the die back in. Let's make sure that you've got it fully in that place. Put it down and go back in one more time. There we go. So we've got that there. Okay, so we've got that lovely indentation there. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of stamping now. So I'm going to take my machine out of the way so I've got a little bit more space. So I'm going to start off with the very vanilla, and I'm going to use the beautiful stamp set Welcome In Window, and I'm going to use the jug. So you can die cut this out, so if this went terribly wrong when you stamped it, you could cut another one out and put it on the top. But I'm just going to get the jug out. Now I want to sit the jug, and I'm also stamping with Blackberry Bliss, so I'm going to put the jug as low down on my label as possible. So pick that up, square that up, and I'm really loving this Blackberry Bliss. I haven't used it a great deal, but when I saw this beautiful DSP, of course the main colour is Blackberry Bliss, and I thought, well, this gives me the great opportunity of working with Blackberry Bliss. So I'm going to take that, as far down as I can and making sure that my drug is straight. And so just press down on that and take that off. And just, I'm going to move that out of the way because I want, oh, I forgot my pear pizzazz. So sorry about that. So let's just put that one away a minute. So I've got pear pizzazz and I'm going to use this leafy one, and I'm going to ink this up with pear pizzazz. This is the beauty of our colours. There is something that's called Colour Coach that you can use to see what colours will definitely match with other colours. So it takes all the hard work out. However, I have, let's see where my other tag's gone. Just see which way I did it. I think I did it. Nope, I did do it that, so the leaf's coming there. So all I'm going to do is just sit this, so it's just sitting on the vase. I'll pick it up in a minute and show you. So this is pear pizzazz, and I've just sat that leaf just slightly above. Now it won't matter if you go over onto your jug, because if you can see what I did here, I've done the thank you and I've actually fussy cut that out. Now you could cut that out with a little die if you wanted to, or you could use your trimmer to cut it out and make a little rectangle, so you don't have to fussy cut if fussy cutting's not your thing. Now I'm going to get the flowers. Now if you've got this set, you will notice that there is little things here like a 2B and a 1B, and that's showing you that that flower set goes with that, matches those leaf foliage. And the same with this one. This is 1A going with 1A, I think it is. So it's very helpful. I didn't realise that at first, and I thought, oh dear, and then I saw those tiny little things and I thought, oh yes. Right, so this is going to be with the Highland Heather. So, and I've also got some Highland Heather ribbon this time that I'm going to tie this with. So now when you're using your ink pads, the larger ink pads, just gently pat on, don't dig it in, just gently pat that. Right, now how I'm going to line this up is the 3 flowers. You can see the 3 flowers there and that one. Ignore the rest, that's what you're lining up. So those 3 flowers, I'm getting into those holes and then commit. Okay, there we go, and there's beautiful. I love that. Okay, so I'll just take that off a minute, deal with those later. Okay, let me put, what did I do? No, I did it in the thank you I did in the other one. So I'm just going to get a scrap piece, so any of your scraps will be fine. So I've got lots of offcuts that I keep in a bag, and I just purely look to see, because I'm going to fussy cut round, whether it's going to fit this thank you on. So I'll just mount that. Yes, quite easily. So I'm going to turn that round for myself. Will it fit in there as well? Yeah, oh, it'll fit in there, so I'll go that. So I'm going to do this in Blackberry Bliss. So these mini ink spots are what you can buy in a pack of 5 And then you can use our re-inkers to ink them any colour you like, what you've got the re-inkers. So when you're starting off, you can't afford all the large stamp pads. In fact, I know people that just prefer to use minis full stop. Look how beautiful that stamps. So I'll just move that out of the way. And then fussy cutting, all I'm going to do is I'm coming in at the bottom and I'm just going to leave a little bit of an edge. You turn your card and not your scissors. So you can see that I'm swinging my card. So rather than trying to move my scissors. So just move your card round. And there we go. And the more you do this, the better actually you get at it. So the more practice makes perfect, as they say. I'm going to try and just take the corners off. That'll be fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place that in where the vase meets the flowers. So I'm just going to use one or two. Let's have a look on the back. I think I might use two of our mini dimensionals. So I'm just going to put one in the corner there and one in the corner there. So I'm going to take that off and then just going to make sure I've got my label right, and then just pop that down halfway, I think, and just commit there. So that's just covered the difference between the vase and there. Okay, now I can see that my paper's showing slightly now. I could go round here with a sponge dauber so that it would put dark all the way round this, and that would stop you seeing that. It must have twisted while I was put it in because I didn't let it dry properly, but it's fine. Okay, so let's start building it up. Let's get the flowers off. So what I've done is taken the bit out that's going to be our window. Now all I'm going to do is I've got a template here, and so I'm not going to measure this. I'm going to just use this as my template, and I'm just going to cut it slightly bigger than my actual template. So we'll just double check this whether I've made it too large. So I've put about over 1/8 of an inch, but we'll just see. So that's just window sheet, and let's have a look whether that will fit on without. Oh yes, perfect, so that's not a problem. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use glue. Now you can use glue dots. In fact, I usually do use glue dots, but all I'm going to do is just put some glue going all the way around the outside edge of my frame. Now you see I'm not getting too close. If you get too close to the edge, when you put your window sheet on, it will spread and it will go onto your window sheet inside, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to hover and make sure, there we go. So I can afford to push it over slightly, but I'm just going to tap that down very, very gently. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is use the strips. So these are wonderful, these are strips for making these cards, and I'm just going to go where my window sheet is to start with. So I'm just going to pop that down, and so I'm just gonna, make sure that it's not going over. So I'll show you from the other side in a minute. So just going to do that and then do this. So that, okay, and just push it up against the other one. You mustn't have any gaps, so push it up against the other one. Then we'll cut that, and then the last one, push it up against that and make sure there's no edge bits. Okay, now I'm going to put this piece straight across there. So, and I'll just show you this closer now. So you can see that I've made sure there's just even the slightest bit of gap so that when you've got it on that side, it's not showing, okay? So that's the important thing. Now, I love this because these lengths, you just peel them off. I've made loads of tags so far and they have, I'm still on my first one of these. I have bought a replacement. Now what I'm doing is I'm just bending it and going round the edge. Okay, so I'm gonna try and go round. So you can just feed it round and bend it so that it will just bend nicely round your shape. So that's what I'm doing, and then I've got to this bit here. I'm going to cut that. I always have a spare pair of scissors that I use. Now this one I'm just going to bend around the top. So I'm bending around the top, taking out a little bit, and just make sure it's not going over the edge. Right, so I'm happy with that now. It's not interfering with there, so that's fine. Right, now in the centre I'm going to place a couple. Now don't forget, this is the window. This is where you are going to look in. So I've got these gorgeous little bumblebee trinkets and I'm going to put a few of these in there. So you must put them so that the detail is facing down, okay? So the detail needs to face down. In fact, I put just one in this one. So we've got that. And then I've just got some little gems that I've got. So I'm just going to put a few of those in. And decided with it being gold to put gold in, and I've got some of these. Now I haven't got the white ones that Stampin' Up do, so the white ones would have gone nice, but I forgot to order them. So these are some that I've had in my stash a long time, so I'm just using them. But the trinket, the Bumblebee Beautiful trinket, is current in the Stampin' Up catalogue. So I'm just going to peel off all those, make sure, oops, I'm sticking. Okay, so quite easy to peel off, just get that there. Okay, don't get your fingers stuck in it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make sure, because this is going to be the back, I'm going to make sure I've got it the right ways. And I'm going from the top. Let's take that out before we go. There we go. And I'm going to go from the top and make sure that that is absolutely level. So we've got that, and then I'm holding it in place and then going to release it down there. Now if you are not happy, you feel that it's come too far out, just get your pokey tool and just push it in a bit more. So I push it in a bit more. That's it. So push it in a bit more around the outside. Okay. So that it adheres. There we go. Just, oops, I'm happy with any. Feel it's a bit too, just push it down. Okay. There we go. So that's how it's shaking to start with. And you can see my little bee there. Right, now to decorate, I have cut out in gold this beautiful sprig from the Iconic dies. I just really love this. It's one of my favourite pieces out of the Iconic die because it's just wonderful. Right, if you've got any glue strings, just get your pokey tool in and knock them out of the way because we don't want the glue strings going. And I'm just going to curve this so that it does go across the middle, but it fits on beautifully. Okay, and then I've got some of the flowers. It cuts out 3 at a time. This is the middle one, and I've cut this out with the DSP, and I'm going to put a few of these on. So I put a smaller one at the bottom, so just thought it makes it pretty with it having the gold. I'll put one down there, and I've got another larger one. So this paper, as I say, is so beautiful. I do find it extremely difficult to use the back side of it. There's nothing wrong with the back side, is lovely, but it's not got gold on, so this is part of it. I can't bear not to use the gold foil side. I just love it. So but it's got lovely bits on it. Right, so I'm just gonna put that there. Okay, so that's the front part, and the back part is where you write your sentiments. So we're going to build up the rest now. So I've also got this part, and on the plain side I'm going to put these are also from the Iconic dies. In fact, I'll leave him there. I'm going to stick him on. So I'm just going on the back. This is Cajun Craze that I've used. Another colour in the paper, so as well as Blackberry Bliss, and I'm just going to stick him down there. Now it doesn't matter that he's slightly going over because our one that we're putting him on is wider, so it won't matter that he's hanging over. Right, just make sure I'm not getting. So just let me, that's it. So this I'm going to turn over because the piece is going to go on top like that. So when you're looking this way and separating them, you will see that. But if you want to show it this side, it's showing the DSP this side as well. So there we go. And then the last one, we've got the DSP showing on the back side. So that is, and the thank you showing on that. So when it spreads, you will be able to write your details on there. and then you've got these, but when you've got it facing this way, you've got the lovely DSP showing as well. Okay, now how I do this is I make sure the holes all line up, and I'm just going to get myself some ribbon. This I think that will be long enough. I will tell you the measurements I've got in a minute. So let's see, I've got about 16.5 inches here, and I'm going to double it inside. Beautiful rhythm, Highland Heather. So how did I do it for the back? It came over. I think I've done it. So I think I threaded it through here. So you can take one at a time to thread it through to make it easier on yourself. Making sure that, no, that's the side. Just make sure which side you want to show. So I'm wanting to show that side when you look at the back. So that's going to go through there. And then I just threaded it through the top, just making sure that I've kept my ends level. So I'm going to pull that tighter there, so that's looking on the back, and then just try and keep that down there. I'm going to do that tight, and then I tied my bow. Now this, I did find this a bit tricky, but I often say it's in the ribbon. The other ribbon that I was using to do the other one is nice on its own when you're just tying a ribbon, but when it's got two sides to a ribbon, they are difficult sometimes to actually get it right. Okay, so quite happy with that. And then I'm going to make sure I pull down there. So you can work this down, and I think I worked it down so that it pulled down more so that it fits on the edge. I haven't quite got that right on this one, making it pull down, but I'm quite happy with the effect anyway, so that's not a issue to me. So just pull your ends down to make your bow how you want it. So then we're just going to snip our tails there and there. Now I would save this because that I would see that you can do behind a label look like that. So I would save those. So that's my tip for you. Save your bits you cut off because you can use them on other projects. Oh, and I have forgotten to put it on. I was going to put this underneath there. I forgot to do that, so that was something I was going to do, but never mind. So on the back you've got a nice thank you, and you've got your bird and your sprig. Lovely fine detail on there. It's got a glue string, and then scrape that off later. Then you've got where you write, okay, and then on the front you've got a beautiful shaker tag, and then you've got your DSP that is showing, so it looks pretty when it flaps out the side. And you could loosen this off. You could take the bow to how the two ends and tie it on to your present, but I just think that's really pretty. I am going to add some, I'll have to do it off camera because I forgot. I'm going to add some of the gems to my flowers, but I'm not going to keep you any longer to do that. So I've got some enamel glitter dots, or I've got my opaque ones that I will stick on my flowers. But I hope you like that. This on this side, everything is current in there. On this one, the ribbon is no longer available. However, if you are one of my customers, I'd be happy to sell you a yard of the ribbon so that you can recreate exactly how I've done that. But I mean, that would look equally as good. So I'll just show you some more of the iconic dies. So they've got these beautiful mushrooms. So that's something else that's in there. As I say, the flowers that you've got there. Yeah, so these are what I'd use. So I'm going to use those in the flowers centres. So going to use that. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the one that's got more DSP on the front, or do you prefer the one that's not? I mean, equally, that would look nice in a contrasting colour to do your mushrooms there as well. So you could choose either of those, but I just thought you can see the detail of the paper in the background. You can see it in this one, but I decided that I'd gone a bit too much with that one. So I thought, well, if I do a plainer front, then you can see the DSP more. And on this one, when you open them up, it's plain on the other side, so which you can undo the bow and put some on, so that's not an issue. But I just thought that it's nicer when you stretch it out and you're looking that way, that it's got the DSP and it's also showing more of the DSP off. So thank you very much for watching. Do appreciate that you've stopped by. If you're not a subscriber to my YouTube channel, please subscribe so you won't miss any further uploads. Appreciate that you've watched me. Take care, stay safe. Thank you. Bye.